In the ancient world, where the boundaries between life and death, the mortal and the divine, were often blurred, certain creatures were believed to have the ability to bridge these realms. Among the most revered of these beings were bees, creatures both tiny and mighty, which held a profound place in Greek and Roman mythology. In their delicate flight, bees were thought to carry the souls of the deceased between worlds, and in their honey, the very essence of the divine was believed to reside. To the ancient Greeks, bees were not merely insects. They were symbols of immortality and divine connection. In Greek myth, the soul's journey did not end with death, but rather transitioned through a space that was neither here nor there, a realm between the living and the afterlife. Bees were thought to be the divine messengers, the carriers of the soul's essence as it made this transition. When a person died, it was said that their soul was transported by bees to the underworld, where it would either find eternal peace or continue its journey through the cycle of rebirth. This connection to the afterlife made bees sacred, almost ethereal, and honey, the substance they produced, became a symbol of this divine link. One of the most poignant expressions of this belief came from the worship of Demeter, the goddess of the harvest, and her daughter Persephone, who was abducted to the underworld. Persephone's descent into the realm of the dead was marked by her transformation into a symbol of the cyclical nature of life and death. During this time, bees were believed to be the guardians of the sacred transition, ferrying the souls of the departed between the worlds. Their buzzing and hum were seen as the whispers of the souls in transit, while honey, the sweet product of their labor, symbolized the nourishment and connection between life and death. This divine nectar, honey, was thus thought to be imbued with the essence of the soul itself, a metaphysical substance that was both of the earth and beyond it, linking the physical realm with the spiritual. Similarly, in Roman tradition, bees were also seen as soul carriers. The Romans believed that bees were born from the blood of the gods or from the tears of those who had passed on. According to legend, when a person died, their soul would be carried away by bees who would lead the spirit to its final resting place in the afterlife. The poet Virgil, in his Georgics, even spoke of the bees as sacred to the gods, emphasizing their connection to both life and death, suggesting that the bees were messengers who communicated between realms. Honey, then, was regarded as more than just a food or a healing substance. It was seen as a bridge to the divine, a sacred offering that linked the living with the dead, the mortal with the immortal. Honey's symbolism as a link between the realms of the living and the dead was not confined to myth and legend alone. It also held practical significance in ancient funerary rites. In both Greek and Roman cultures, honey was often used in burial practices, where it was offered to the gods or placed in the graves of the deceased as a way to ensure that the soul's journey was smooth and that the departed would receive divine protection in the afterlife. The belief was that honey, with its golden hue and sweet, life-sustaining qualities, held the power to nourish the soul as it traveled to the underworld, ensuring that it was not lost or forgotten in the journey to the afterlife. In this way, honey came to symbolize the eternal cycle of life and death. It was, and still is in many traditions, a powerful metaphor for holistic wellness, representing not only the nourishment of the body, but also the nourishment of the soul. Just as honey is produced by bees who work tirelessly to gather nectar from flowers, it was believed that the soul, too, must travel, gathering experiences, wisdom, and insight along the way before returning to the divine. Honey, in this sense, was a representation of life cycles, of growth, death, rebirth, and renewal, a substance that was both nourishing and transformative. Modern science has only deepened our understanding of the metaphorical and practical importance of honey. While ancient cultures believed that honey was a connection to the divine, modern science has demonstrated that honey is much more than a sweet treat. It is a substance with numerous health benefits that can nourish both the body and the mind. Honey is rich in antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals that contribute to overall wellness, boosting the immune system and promoting healing. Its antibacterial properties help to fight infections, while its anti-inflammatory qualities support the body's natural healing processes. But the symbolism of honey as a bridge between life and death is perhaps most resonant when we consider its connection to longevity and vitality. Honey, with its rich history of medicinal use, reminds us of the balance between life and death and the importance of nourishing both our physical bodies and our spiritual selves. In its purest form, honey is a natural food that transcends the mundane, offering both sustenance and a deeper, more spiritual connection to the world around us. It is a reminder that life is both fragile and resilient, and that in the sweetness of honey, we find a link to the mysteries of the universe, an eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The ancient Greeks and Romans were not simply attributing magical properties to honey. They were acknowledging the profound connection between the living and the dead, and the belief that we are all part of a larger, interconnected whole. Honey's role as a soul carrier was a reflection of this understanding, a reminder that our lives are part of something greater, something cyclical and eternal. Just as the bees carry the souls of the departed, honey carries with it the essence of life itself, nourishing us in both body and spirit. It is a timeless reminder that nature, in all its mystery and beauty, holds the key to understanding the deepest truths of existence. Honey, in this context, serves as more than just food or medicine. It is a symbol of holistic wellness, a representation of the balance between the physical and spiritual realms. Its sweetness is a gift, not only to the body but also to the soul, providing sustenance that is both tangible and ethereal. As we partake in honey, whether for its taste, its health benefits, or its spiritual significance, we connect to a long tradition of honoring the cycles of life and death, a tradition that recognizes the sacredness of all things, from the tiniest bee to the deepest mysteries of existence.